guys, welcome back to Virtual Sunday School. I'm back in my office this week, even though it's spring break, and man, I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing spring break. Hey, did you know we're doing something really cool tonight just for you? Sunday evening programming is back for y'all, our kindergarten through 5th graders. We're going to be here at the church from 5 to 6 p.m. tonight. We're going to play some fun games. We're going to do some fun music. We're going to do some cool crafts, and you're going to get to spend some extra time like in real life with me, not just on the screen. So I really hope to see a lot of you guys come and hang out. Today, our Bible story is the Walk to Emmaus. You can find it in your Spark Story Bible. Last week we celebrated Easter, and we heard this amazing story about how Mary went to the tomb and she found that it was empty. Jesus wasn't there because he wasn't dead. He was alive. He had risen just like he said he would. And he didn't immediately go back up to heaven to be with God. He hung out for 50 days. Easter isn't just one day, it's a whole church season. And there's all these amazing stories about some of the stuff Jesus did here on earth after his resurrection, before he ascended into heaven to go back and be with the Father. So for the next couple of weeks, we'll be hearing some of those stories, and this one is one of my favorites. So get out your Spark Story Bible and follow along. 3 days after Jesus died, Cleopas and his friend were walking slowly down a road to Emmaus. They were walking slowly because they felt very sad. Why did Jesus have to die, they wondered. After a while, a stranger began to walk with them. The stranger was really Jesus, but Cleopas and his friend didn't know it. "What are you talking about?" the stranger asked. The men looked at each other. "Are you the only person in town who doesn't know what just happened?" they asked. They told the stranger about what had happened to Jesus. Jesus was a great teacher, Cleopas said. He hoped he was the one God promised would save the world, but instead he died on a cross. We took Jesus' body down and put it in a tomb. This morning, our friends went to the tomb, but Jesus' body was gone. They said that there was an angel there instead. The angel told our friends Jesus is alive, but... "Stop being silly," the stranger said. "How many times do you need to hear this? It was God's plan for Jesus to die and become alive again to save the world." By now they were almost to Emmaus. Cleopas invited the stranger to stay for dinner. During dinner, the stranger picked up a loaf of bread, broke it, blessed it, and gave each man a piece. All of a sudden, Cleopas and his friend recognized the stranger. It was Jesus, but Jesus had disappeared. Cleopas and his friend jumped up, ran from the room, and went to tell the rest of Jesus' disciples that Jesus really was alive. God kept another promise. How cool is this story? These two men were walking down the road and a stranger walks up and they have this great conversation. And then in the breaking of the bread, they realize the stranger is in fact Jesus. We see Jesus in a whole lot of places. I see him, little glimpses of him every single day. When you live with open eyes and you try to look for him, you might just find him in the breaking of a bread, like when you sit down and share a meal with your family or come to church and have communion. You might find him out at the beach, You might find him in the smiles on your friends' faces when you're playing on the playground. You might find him in a kind word shared for you from a brother or a sister or a friend. You might feel his loving embrace in the embrace from an adult like your mom or your dad who really loves you. The Spark Story Bible asks a great question, and I wish I could hear all of your answers. It says, if you saw Jesus walking down the road, who would you tell? What would you say? You know, I have another question. If you saw Jesus walking down the road, what would you ask him? What would you want to talk to him about? You might not see him walking down the road, but you can always talk to him and you can always find him. And all you have to do is pray. Guys, I hope you have a great Sunday afternoon. I hope to see some of you back here, and I'm praying for all of you as you head back to school on Monday. Bye, friends.
Will never let us down, and we can trust everything he does. He keeps his promises, we know, because yeah, the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust him, we can trust him. Yeah, the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust him, we can trust him. Thing we can count on, it's that God will never let us down, and we can trust everything he does. He keeps his promises, we know, because yeah, the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust him, we can trust him. Yeah, the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust him, we can trust him. Yeah, the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust him, we can trust him. Yeah, the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust him, we can trust him. We can trust him, we can trust him. The